What's up, guys? Team Fusion here, back with another video. Now, today's video, I have my Ancient Gear deck. Now, I really love this deck. I love how easily you can bust out super strong fusions. And overall, this is probably one of my favorite fusion decks, specifically because of that reason. Now, let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off, I run 3 copies of Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. Probably one of the more important monsters in this deck. When he's normal summoned, you could burn your opponent for 600 points of damage. Now it's not the good part, but during the main phase, you can fusion summon 1 Ancient Gear fusion monster from your extra deck, and you don't have to use this card specifically. So you can just use cards from your field or hand. I mean, I do recommend using him so he's not just sticking around on the field, but that's just me. Now, next up, I run 3 copies of Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound. You know, when he's like Ancient Gear Golem, but better. He does piercing damage, and then you can discard a machine and attack again. So that's pretty decent right there. Not to mention just 3,000 attack. And if he's destroyed, you can add a polymerization to your hand. Which is pretty useful. I run 2 copies of Ancient Gear Wyvern. Wyvern is basically your search. When he's summoned, you can search your deck for an Ancient Gear card, not just a monster. The only downside is you can't set cards, which, I mean, shouldn't really need to set cards. But anyway. I run, just for like filler at this point, 2 Ancient Gear Gadget. Not really that useful. You can just straight up, when he's normal special summon, declare 1 card type. And if a monster I control attacks, that specific card type can't be activated. So I mean, it has its uses, but I don't really use it for its effect. I run, again as filler, 2 Ancient Gear Knight. Nothing really special here, he's just an 1800 attack point monster. He's also a Gemini, which, you know, if you normal summon it, he basically just gets the regular Ancient Gear effect, where your opponent can't activate spells or traps when they attack. Yeah. Starting to get into the one-ofs, I run 1 Ancient Gear Hydra. Again, these last few monsters are kind of filler. But, you know, if he's tribute summoned using an Ancient Gear monster, okay, I can't read that from right here. But, again, filler. 1 copy of Ancient Gear Frame. Again, he's a search. He's not really filler, he's just a search, but he can only search cards that specifically list Ancient Gear Golem or Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound, which it has its uses, specifically for searching Ancient Gear Fusion. Also, his destruction effect's pretty good, where he special summons Ancient Gear Golem or Ultimate Pound. I'm just going to finish up these 1-0s right here. I run the 1 Reactor Dragon, 1 Golem, 1 Box, 1 Gadgetron Dragon, and 1 Beast. I am thinking about taking out Gadgetron Dragon and Beast, maybe for 1 more copy of Wyvern. These 2 are filler. So is Ancient Gear Box. Reactor Dragon's pretty useful, being able to destroy spell or trap, like Gear Town, which we do run in the deck. Alright. Get these out of here. Now, starting with the spells, I run 3 Gear Town. Pretty useful field spell. You can summon Ancient Gear monsters with 1 less tribute. Plus, if it's destroyed, you can special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your deck or hand, deck, or graveyard, which pretty useful. I run 2 Ancient Gear Workshop. Pretty simple, just target an Ancient Gear monster in your graveyard and put it back in your hand. Pretty good for the deck, allowing you to recycle some monsters. I run 2 Polymerization, just for, you know, fusion summoning, if I don't get Hunting Hound. This is probably my favorite card, not gonna lie. Okay. I run, for the one-ofs, I run 1 Ancient Gear Catapult. If you control monsters, destroy a face-up spell card you control. Special summon 1 Ancient Gear monster from your deck. Pretty easy. I like to combo this with Gear Town, so you get 2 monsters. I run 1 Ancient Gear Castle. I'm also just going to throw Ancient Gear Drill here. Helps you search a spell, as long as you control an Ancient Gear monster. And when a monster is summoned, it gains a counter. And if you tribute summon an Ancient Gear monster, you can use counter on this card instead of tributing monsters. Plus, it gives Ancient Gear monsters a little attack boost, which is nice. Now, I don't actually own an Ancient Gear Fusion, so instead I have this acting as a proxy. Only 1 for now. Basically, it's like polymerization, but if you're fusing using a face-up Ancient Gear Golem or Ultimate Pound, you can use monsters from your deck, which pretty useful, not gonna lie. Now, finishing up these one-ofs, I have 1 Terraforming, searching out Gear Town, 1 Mystical Space Typhoon to destroy Gear Town, or, you know, spot removal for back row, 1 Monster Reborn, staple in any deck, and of course, since how this is a machine deck, I run 1 Limiter Removal, doubles the attack of all my machines, but unfortunately destroys them during the end phase. Now, finishing up here with traps, I run 2 Ancient Gear Reborn. Control a monster, special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your graveyard. You only do this once per turn, which has its uses. You know, use it to bring back Wyvern, search another card. I run the 1 Cross Dimension Duel. I really love this card's artwork. Flame Wingman, fight an Ancient Gear Golem. Basically, you banish an Ancient Gear monster you control, and then a couple turns later it comes back with double its attack points, which is pretty, you know, cool. Now I run 1 Necrofusion. One of my favorite combos to do is summon the Chaos Ancient Gear Giant, and then use Necrofusion to summon a second one. You know, it's 2 4,500 attack point monsters who can attack all your opponent's monsters and do piercing. Pretty great. Now, just as a little bit more spot removal, I do run the 1 Dust Tornado. You take this out for like a Twin Twisters or something. Straight up just destroy a spell or trap your opponent controls. Or your own, so Gear Town. Now, the last trap I run is 1 Magical Hats. Now, this has its uses specifically for, like, Gear Town. Because when Gear Town's destroyed, you can summon an Ancient Gear from your deck. So what I do is, when a monster I control is attacked, I use 2 copies of Gear Town. Seeing as how they're destroyed at the end of the turn, I end up getting 2 Ancient Gears anyway. Pretty fun thing, not gonna lie. Now, here for the extra deck, I run 2 Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. Probably the boss monster of this deck with 4,500 attack points. Requires 4 Ancient Gear monsters. You can attack all your opponent's monsters and do piercing. And during the battle phase, your opponent can't activate anything, which is very powerful. I run 2 Ancient Gear Howitzer. May bump this up to 3 because he's just that good. It only requires 2 Ancient Gear monsters. Basically, you just burn your opponent for 1,000, and if he's ever destroyed, summon an Ancient Gear from your deck without summoning conditions, which is pretty nice. Now, wrapping up the extra deck with one-ofs, I run 1 Megaton Golem, 3 Ancient Gear monsters, 3,300 attack points, and if he's ever destroyed, you can summon Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem from your extra deck, which is another powerful monster. And if that's destroyed, you can summon Ancient Gear Golem from your graveyard. Wrapping up my extra deck, I run just the 1 Ancient Gear Ballista. Requires 2 Earth Machine monsters. And when summoned, you can add an Ancient Gear or Gear Town to your hand. And then you can target 1 spell or trap you control, destroy it, and then reduce your opponent's monster's attack to 0. So, you know, add Gear Town to your hand, use him to destroy it, you get a monster, and your opponent's monster's attack points is 0. Once again, overall, I really love this deck. It's one of my favorites, just to play casually. Okay, if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload. And thanks for watching. Bye.